Hi everyone, welcome to our third lesson for our watermelon unit. I hope you guys have been enjoying the activities we've been doing so far. Today we're going to get started by looking at our vocabulary boards, so make sure you have those out in front of you. And remember, this is what our vocabulary board looks like. Our main idea, our main topic is our watermelon. And then remember, these pictures just help us describe different details in our story and also give us an opportunity to tell um, our family members or our friends what we like, what we don't like, and don't forget, if you need a break, to make sure you let the person know that you need to take a break, and maybe you can take a few minutes and then come back to the activity. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to read our story about watermelons again today. So our title is Watermelons by Krista Joy. And Krista Joy is our author. She wrote the words in our story. Our title again, Watermelons. And Krista Joy is our author. I love watermelons. They are juicy and sweet. Watermelons are perfect for a picnic. Watermelons are a fruit that grow in the summer. So if you remember yesterday, we talked about different fruits and different vegetables. And remember, watermelon is a fruit. And also, watermelon grows in a season. So remember, our seasons are winter, fall, spring, summer, and watermelons grow in the summer. And right now, the season is summer. So this is when watermelons are growing. They are fruit that grows in the summer. Watermelons grow on a vine. Watermelons start out as a flower. Then a small green fruit will grow where the flower used to be. It takes a long time for watermelons to mature. They will grow for almost 85 days before they are ready to be picked and eaten. So it takes a long time for a watermelon to grow. 85 days is a long time. That's almost 3 months. Today, most watermelons do not have any seeds. But they used to. Watermelons used to have big black seeds that were fun to count and spit. You can still find some watermelons with seeds, but it's not easy. Farmers have specifically grown and bred watermelons to have very small white seeds that can be eaten. Here's a picture of our farmer. Most watermelon is red, but did you know there are some varieties that are pink, yellow, or white? I've only had the kind of watermelon that's red. What about you? Maybe the pink ones too, but I've never had the white or the yellow. Have you? What can you make with watermelon? You can make juice, salad, salsa, and even sorbet. Some people even use the rind or the outer shell of the watermelon to make pickles. So the outer shell of our watermelon is green, and sometimes people use the rind or the outer shell of the watermelon to actually make pickles. Do you like watermelon? Take a second and use your vocabulary board and tell the person next to you, I like that or I don't like that. Do you like watermelon? I like that or I don't like that. I'm pointing to I like that. I actually love that. I love watermelon. Make sure you try some this summer, maybe on a picnic. Great job listening to the story today. So now we're going to look at our storyboards a little bit. And I want us to pick out one detail from our story. So think about which detail can you remember from our story? Remember, watermelon's the main idea. All of these choices here are different details in our story. So today I'm going to pick the one that says pickles. So pickles is the detail from the story that I remember. And the page read, some people even use the rind or the outer shell of the watermelon to make pickles. So they're saying this green, let me find a good picture of the watermelon. So like on our front cover, this green part, this is the rind. See where it turns white and green? People use that part of the watermelon to sometimes make pickles. And I actually didn't know that until we started this unit. So that's definitely something new that I learned. So the detail that I chose today was pickles, that you can make pickles out of the rind of watermelon. Okay, so now we're going to do a sequence activity on how the watermelon grows. So you have this worksheet that was dropped off to your house. You're going to need a family member or friend to cut out each of these squares for you so that we can glue them in the correct order. We're going to sequence how the watermelon grows. So the first box is going to be the smallest beginning part of the way a watermelon grows. And the end result is going to be our big watermelon. And in the middle is going to be everything the watermelon went through to get to that end stage of being a nice, big, juicy, sweet watermelon. All right, so let's look at each of our options. This one here says watermelon, seedling, so it's kind of like a beginning to grow, a small melon, seeds, and flower. So those are our choices. And our sequence is also color coded. So if you take a look, we have different colors that correlate and they match with our picture. So we have a brown, a blue, a yellow, a green, and a red. So let's take a look at our first square. What should go in the first square? So when a plant starts off, we're going to have to put these little tiny things in the ground, and then we have to start watering them. What do we put in the ground for a plant to begin to grow? And if we're not 100% sure, let's look for the color. Which one has a brown outline? That's right, seeds. So we're going to cut. After we cut, we're going to paste our seeds in the first square of our worksheet. So the very first step, the beginning of a watermelon starts as a seed. What happens next? Let's look at our pictures. We have a watermelon, a seedling, a small melon, and a flower. So once we plant our seeds and we begin to water, we're going to see something coming from the ground. It's going to sprout from the ground, and that is going to be a seedling. And a seedling has a blue box around it. Can you find the picture with a blue box around it? Here it is. And that is what happens next. So we start with our seeds. We have our seedlings growing up, sprouting from the ground. What comes next? Our last three options are the watermelon, a small melon, or the flower. A clue is that the picture has a yellow box around it. Can you find it? That's right, it's the flower. Great job. So after our seedling, we have our flower. So we have our seeds, our seedlings that are popping up from the ground, and then our flower grows. Okay, we have two more. What happens next? After the flower, look at the two choices. We have a watermelon or a small melon. And our choice has a green box around it. The correct choice has a green box around it. You got it. A small melon. So we have our seeds, our seedling, our flower, and then we start to see our small melon growing. And at the very last part of our sequence to how a watermelon grows, we have our juicy, sweet watermelon. And remember, this one has the red box around it. So just to review, watermelons start off as little seeds in the ground. They begin to sprout into seedlings. Those seedlings grow flowers. The flowers turn into small melons. And the end result is our big, juicy, sweet watermelon. Okay, once everyone has those glued down, we have completed our activity for today, and we have gone through how to sequence how the watermelon grows. So very good job today, guys, and I look forward to seeing you next week and continuing our unit on watermelons.